All right, I'm in the Glenmonarch 9-hole cup. It is Thursday's practice round. We only have 2 qualifying rounds, and I'm using today as practice. So I'm on hole number 4. Hole number 4 is one of the par 3s. This 3-hole series right here, 4, 5, and 6, there are some serious opportunities here to go out hole in one, eagle, eagle. And these 3 holes right here, this series is definitely a great opportunity. In my first practice round today, my goal was to try and find a spot to wedge my rings up. So I put my white ring, I had my white ring up against this rough and my white ring up against this rough. Now from where I was at, I had to put on left hand side spin in order to straighten the ball back out to the cup, because it was going like this. And this is one of those holes where if you push it this way, it goes this way. If you push it this way, it goes this way. So there's a trough right here, and the idea is to be running down the center of that trough. This is one of those holes that you can hit great to the left or the right and still end up in the cup. Now let's look at hole number 4. So the wind, we had a headwind, and I left the ball guide short just a little. And I did 2 things. I left the ball guide short just a little and ended up short just a little. But with the headwind, that's going to lay that ball down a little bit. And so, you may end up short. And there should be about a 10% wind adjustment on this, and I didn't do it. So if I would have pulled it further this way, then that would have brought it up. So I'm going to still I want it to end right at the cup, and then add on that 10% and then see where we're at here. In the past, I've always left it just a little short of the cup because it does want to roll forward, especially if you got any kind of tailwind. Sniper, Marlin, pretty easy. Rough bump. This particular course, there's a lot of rough bump opportunities in the Glenmonarch holes. 2 of these par 3s are definite rough bumps. The last one, there is a rough bump shot that you can take on it if you don't like hitting over the water. Otherwise, you're going to need a backspin club. But on this one right here, it's pretty straightforward. So goal number 1, get in the spot. So sniper. And I'm right at minimum club. So I'm wedging my rings up. I'm putting on that left-hand side spin in order to straighten it out. Just a little teeny bit of top spin. I'm trying to go right at it. Okay, it's 4-7, so I'm going to do a 10% pull, so that'd be about 5-1. So that's a full ring set. I'm at minimum club, and I'm not doing the minimum club adjustment, so yeah, I hit a great to the right. But this is one of those holes that you can hit a great to the left or the right and it still end up going in the hole. But right here, it's all about distance. Am I getting the right distance on it? If I did a minimum club pull right there in that headwind, I actually would have ended up very short because a minimum pull on that would have been like 3.5 rings instead of 5. So I'm going to continue to do the full max wind adjustment, but I'm going to have to put enough topspin on there to get me right at the hole. And yes, I probably could fix that if I use that where I'm at in my rough bump, if I actually pushed it a little bit forward towards the green. The deal is that I'm trying to find a spot with my ring set so that I can set it up very quickly. I can come into this hole and I can set it up very quickly. I can put my white rings up against the rough and set that shot up really quickly, and that gives me more time to, 1, do the math on the adjustment, and number 2, to try and let the ball guide, the needle go back and forth enough to get into a rhythm where I can try and hit perfect. I'm never really too concerned about par 3s early on in a tournament. In this type of situation with these 9-hole cup, you got 2 shots at it here. Coming in with a good tiebreaker is important, but really in the weekend round, I want to pop off a score that's just like, I want to just beat everybody else in the bracket. If I have a great, because that's literally what it takes. So in the first 9-hole cup, the Southern Pines 9-hole cup, I won that tournament, and that's exactly the deal. I didn't come in with a great tiebreaker, but on the weekend round, I just popped off 9 holes that were spectacular and just beat everybody outright in the bracket. Not trying to qualify today. Make my opponent earn their par. They're probably very ticked off at me. They're probably not a fan right now. If you're shooting that kind of shot, you want to be very serious about it. They always point right at the flagpole. In one of the other in my earlier practice round, they are so mad at me. I will forfeit. That'll help them out. I'll stop the bleeding at. They're not going to get any better than what they would have got, but getting a bogey on a par 3 is not good. They are definitely not fans. It's not my fault. I didn't shoot their round for them. Okay. That was hole number 4. So hole number 4 is, let's go look at that. I'm definitely going to start going right to the cup because we've got that little bit of headwind here. We're not getting any forward roll past what the ball guide's giving us. So I definitely want to be right at the cup. Not necessarily longer, but just enough longer that it rolls. It has enough speed to get it into the cup. I'm going to do a full wind adjustment plus 10%. And I'm going to wedge my rings up so that I'm on this rough and this rough. All right. That was hole number 4. Thanks for watching.